I wish good things to you who's watching this. I am Alexey, and this is my first Azul stream where I'll be playing Azul against you, or against those of you who want to play. Basically, all you gotta do to participate is either send me a challenge at Board Game Arena or just simply write me a message in the chat with your Board Game Arena screen name, and I'll send you a challenge to an Azul game. I'm streaming with a 1 minute delay, so you'll hear it in 1 minute, and in the meantime, I guess I'll just go to do some talking. So yeah, no idea how this is going to go. The poll on my community tab said that it's something that some of y'all will be interested, but I don't know. Anyway, so I think what we're gonna do first, especially because I'm streaming with a delay, I'm gonna let y'all show up in a second. I'm just gonna start with playing an arena game because that's what I normally do. Well, that's what I sometimes do when I stream Carcassonne. And yeah, whenever. And then after a game, I'll see how many of you are here eager to play. Also, I see that several of you are already here in the chat. Do let me know. I'm kind of very curious to see what's the overlap between my Carcassonne audience and my Azul audience. So, those of you who are here, are you here for just the Azul, or are you here normally for Carcassonne as well? It's taking some time to find the arena opponent, which is a bit unusual. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna actually just open a challenge here to play a random opponent and also play an arena game. Oh, there we are. Oh, okay, we have to. So we're playing like against the a player rated 900. Yeah. Hi, Glavier. So, perfect. My first ever Azul stream, and I'm going to get destroyed. So, as you see, I'm rated 820, which is like supposedly very high. That's like in the top 5 or the top 4 or something like this. And we'll be playing against one of the very few people who's rated higher than myself. I've never been over my 100. Over 900, not sure what that's like. Okay. There are 5 blues, 5 yellows, 4 reds, 2 whites, that's interesting, and 4 blacks. I'm kind of feeling that the whites go either on row 4 or row 5. Wait, what's correct? What's correct? I feel that this is correct. So, one of the things that I look at is the overall counts, trying to imagine how my column could be arranged. And here's my logic. First of all, the whites could go very nicely on row 4, and my opponent will not be super impatient to take away the whites because the whites are not like part of any of rows 3, 4, 5, not of any of the big rows. Like, it's impossible to complete row 5 or to threaten to complete row 5 with the whites. So yeah, so for example, now what I could do, I could just simply take the whites myself right now, right here. Maybe that's the play, actually. Shall we just proceed with the plan? Okay, my opponent is opposing me on column 2, probably. But they could also pivot, always. Okay, let's say if I take the whites, they take the golds, they take the blues, they take the blacks. I don't think I have the time to calculate everything. Okay, let's take the golds first. Let's just see what my opponent does. I'm not sure if that is correct, but it aligns neatly along my column. And they could use their gold for their Interesting. Okay, okay, okay. Uh-huh, I see what they're doing. So they're building that column instead, which is probably correct. Okay. I could take this. No, I think I need to take care of this. Actually, no, 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 no. I need to get used to playing and speaking with with Azul. It's a bit harder, right? Because typically in Carcassonne, I know what I'm doing. For Azul, that's not always the case. I could pivot to the bottom row. Actually, I think that's the case. Yeah, I think that's the play. We pivot to the bottom row. Then let's say they take a black, I take a black. Sorry, I didn't say, I meant I pivot to column 2, right? And then the idea is I could put some blacks here later. Yep, yep, exactly like this. How crazy are we going to be? I feel like I'm gonna have so much stuff on my floor, but maybe that's fine. Actually, I think I know this. Yeah, I think the play is to let him have the black. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously he now wants the blues, but I don't want the blues. So what's more valuable, this or that? I'm gonna do with this simply just because it gives me more immediate points. It's as simple as that. Now I have a very interesting situation. I'd say that my opponent has an advantage going to round 1. Okay, great, they're also watching. One blue has been discarded. And I have somehow 1 point ahead. I'm not sure how instructive I can make this because it's already like such an unusual position, and I've already like violated a couple of opening principles. For example, I'm opposing my opponent on the same column, and it's a problem because stuff like this could happen. So we're fighting for the same column, but he has the starting player advantage. I could take the starting player myself for row 3, but I don't think I should do that, really. Okay. I'm not commenting much, which I guess is a problem. But most of my decisions are based on just variation calculation, not any particular principles. So it's like you go here, I go here. I'm not too worried about my row 2 because my opponent also needs to be worried about his row 2, and we have the same restrictions. Mm-hmm. Okay. I might actually have to sacrifice my row 2 now. Because let's say I take the reds, he takes the 2 whites. I take the reds. He takes the 2 blues for the top row, and I take the 3. I think this is the play that we're going to try and go for. Because I don't think there's anything much better, right? If I take the one... if I take the one white, my opponent will just force himself a better hand. So I'll have to do this. He should be taking the two whites, but again, he's much higher rated than I am, so he might know something that I don't. I can't imagine anything else being correct here. Yes, 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 yes. Then I have to take this. Then he has to take the two blues for row one. For row one, right? Right? Again, maybe I don't know something. Yeah, then I take those. My opponent takes maybe the one white. Probably on row 4. I don't think he should discard it. Yep, yep. Then we discard this. There's... what was discarded in round 1? Blue? Maybe, I think it was blue. So 2 blues, 1 black. Yeah... the shortage of whites isn't great. I'm thinking, can I think of something smart? I'm looking at this column here, and maybe I can pivot to it with 3 blacks here, 4 golds, 5 gold at the bottom. But I think the essential thing to take care about is the blues. Because my opponent needs a lot of blues. He doesn't really need anything else. And I do feel like I need the starting player tile. Not sure if I'm playing this optimally. But I kind of feel that taking away the blues from my opponent can go a long way. Okay, so they do get the starting player tile, which is understandable. Now it's time for calculation. Well, I guess we can go at the bottom, right? If we go here, what does our opponent do? Wait a second. What if we do this? Our opponent, let's say, takes 2 reds. No, I don't see it. I just don't see it. I think we need to do this and try to find something interesting. Can we take away more blues from them? Maybe. Let's try that. Okay, so I think that could work well. Oh, you preferred the 2 yellows on round 1. But I mean, but the adjacency bonus It was the same issue. Okay, my opponent is thinking, which is great, which means that maybe it wasn't a bad move. The one with the two blues. I kind of start feeling that they have this crazy move where they can put a blue in row 2. In which case, I have to ignore the blues. I have to take one gold, let them take a blue, so that they give me the 3 blacks for row 3. Something like this. They found it. No, that's amazing. That's amazing. They actually found it. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool of them. Because if I take the blue, he takes the 3 blacks. And then I take the 3 gold, my opponent takes the reds. That's an option. But I think I need to do this. Let my opponent take the blue. I don't know. At least that's what I was planning. Well, they have to take the blue here. I just can't imagine anything else. And I feel like these blacks could later come in handy. They now have to take the 2 gold. Probably, if I were them, I would have put them in the 3rd line. Just because they have their map completely free. So at least we got something out of it. So let's see why. Okay. This is not a bad run out now. I guess I could just go crazy on the whites instantly. Or I could take care of the blues first. This run out had to happen sooner or later, right? Okay, so if I take the blues, assuming that he takes the 3 whites, now I think I have to go with this. And then just simply build as much as I can here. Red, wow, okay, very interesting. I think I have to take the blues here. Mm-hmm. So I wish I could comment a little bit more whilst I play. It's just the first game's too intense. I mean, my opponent's too good. Okay. But we need to find some sort of way. Okay, let's just use calculation. I'm just gonna calculate it out loud. Okay, if I take the 3 whites, my opponent can take like 1 red or something. Take 3 golds. Yeah, that could work well. But do I need the 3 whites, really? I could just take the 2 golds, then my opponent takes the 3 whites. Then let's say I take... No. Let's just do this. Let's just do this. Let's just get it out of the way. You see, like, I thought of taking the black myself, but the problem with that, I didn't want to let my opponent to have the blues for row 3. That was kind of a big problem. Okay. Well, that's forcing my hand. I think I have to take the 3 golds because I don't want to give my opponent the 3 golds. Then he does something like 1 red, and I take the 2 blues and so on. So I will have a clean sheet, I guess. It has a problem that I'm not going to be getting any of these top row bonuses, but I will have some healthy adjacency bonuses. I'm not sure about that last play, right? Because my opponent is not getting complete color. I guess his idea was that he can afford to simply have these 2 guys dead. Okay. So what can we do here that could hurt our opponent? The answer is probably not much. So here's what I'm seeing. I guess with correct play, you probably should be winning this. But I'm seeing some threats of this column, if I can get all the reds to merge. But I also need the reds over here. And my opponent knows that. So how else can we win? Maybe we can hope to hurt them in the floor line a little bit? Well, that probably won't work either. So I think the only way we win this is just we hope that they make a mistake. How can we make that happen? I think we have to take these guys first. I think they belong over here. And the reason is that, like, the reds we're going to need elsewhere. And also I want to group all the 3 whites if I can. Okay, so my opponent takes the 1 white and drops something in his floor line, but that's not gonna be enough for me, probably, most certainly. Now I could of course threaten this, but wait. Ah, man, it's so bad because the thing is, like, if I put it here, my opponent takes the 2 blues. I have to take the 2 blues because he just has so many threats. But I mean, we have to do something here, right? Okay, like that, huh? Interesting. So is your idea that... Very, very interesting. Okay, if I go here... Then you probably take the reds, right? You could also take the blues. But if I take the reds, it gives me what? 6 points. This whole interaction gives me 6 points. If I take the black, This whole interaction gives me 4 points. So we have to go with this. Oh, it's 7 points actually. He takes the black, I take these guys. My opponent takes the whites, and I take these. So we're gonna lose this one with quite a big point difference. I'm not sure, maybe this was winnable. I kind of feel that maybe I did something wrong in round 1, even though round 1 didn't feel that bad. Eventually it was like the absence of the row bonuses that cost me a little bit of the line bonuses. But I felt like at the time when I was sacrificing that line, it was justified. Maybe the one thing that I could have done that I think about this is when my opponent made this play by putting one black over here, oh, one blue over here, I could have possibly taken that blue away. Now that I think about it, it was probably best for me to do that. Yeah. Just to have this thing empty for a long time, because it just cleaned up his position too nicely. Whereas I shouldn't have been worried about him having all the 3 blacks too much. All right, well, hopefully you've learned something. I'll try to commentate a little bit better. Okay, so who's sending me a challenge? Let's see. Okay, Glovier. But, oh man, but that's like another strong opponent. Yeah, so it's great to play with you, of course, but if we have any beginners, then you're also welcome to send me challenges and stuff. But yeah, I'm happy to donate you some free rating. What else about that last game? Yeah, I feel like my opponent played really well, actually. Not that much to say. It was probably that round 2 move with the blues. Yeah, it was that mistake that I made. Right, just waiting for our opponent to start the game. Glovier, you there? Okay, there we go. 700. I mean, it's interesting, like how my viewers apparently are all masters, and we have a super interesting run out. You see, there are no whites. So there are 2 things to do about this. One is actually we could go in column 4. Even though there are no whites for row 5, we know that there are 20 whites remaining, so actually we're really likely to get those later. I could also go for this column with some sort of substitute. No whites, I know, right? Yeah, I feel like this is the play. Because then I can get these guys over here, down over here. If my opponent takes blacks, I take the 2 golds with the first player. Same with these blacks. If my opponent takes the blues, I take those. Yeah, and this is probably the best move easily for them. But where will we go? That's a really, really big question. Oh, they just decided to complete row 3. Are they going to on the earlier column? Interesting. Actually, that might work well. Okay, what if I... No, I think... Wait. I didn't mean to do this, actually. Or wait, maybe I meant to do this. No, I think that was my plan. And the idea is, let's say if my opponent takes something like 2 blacks. I take 2 blacks, no? Yeah, I take 2 blacks. Let's say my opponent takes something like... No, I think we should be doing well no matter what. I have a feeling that Glovier here intends to finish all the bottom stuff and go without his first row. But I'm not sure how it's gonna work. Yeah, I feel like I have the advantage now. Because look at this, 3 rows completed for both of us. Okay, my opponent has extra 2 tiles on me, but I have the advantage of having completed the first row. And also, I'm not the one going on the outer column. And also, this is a really, really good run out for me. So what could we do? We could pick off one of these reds quite soon. I could start... Actually, I think I'm going to start with those. Yes. Just to get my 3rd row. And I think I'm okay with letting my opponent finish a column. Because let's say if he takes the 2 blues, I'm going to take the 1 white. Yep, exactly. I'm going to take the 1 white. Oh, really? Oh, my opponent actually has a really interesting move. He can take the 1 white himself for the top row. That would be pretty neat. I didn't see that. But will he see that? Hopefully not. It's kind of very tricky to find, but if he... Okay, he didn't do that. It's all good. So I get to take the 1 white. I get to enjoy the first player advantage again. And then I should be able to finish something good here, right? Yeah, I think so. Let's say my opponent takes the 2 reds exactly. I never take the reds here. I intend to take the golds because my opponent has nowhere to put the reds. So it was all part of the plan. They should be taking the 1 blue always here, I think. Because the blue is just too good for me. Yeah. Oh, greedy. What should we do? Maybe I should take the 1 gold. And let my opponent... Yeah. Maybe I should take the 1 gold. And then let them throw some on the floor line. I could have also taken the blacks myself. But I figured that I'm actually not in a hurry to finish my bottom row. Okay, 2, 1, 0, 0, 2. I think I'm doing all right here. Obviously, maybe a lot of stuff on my floor line, which isn't great. But I get to go first again. And this run out is a bit tricky for me, though. Okay, I think this is good, taking away some blues from my opponent. On the other hand, what do I get to do with all these blacks? I don't know. You tell me. Yeah, that was the plan. Now I have to take these whites. And suddenly Glavier here does not have enough stuff for his second row. I'm not worried about the reds converging because I can put them here. This is a move I do not thoroughly understand. Actually, I just think it is not correct. But we're gonna go here. You know why I think this move was not correct is because there was no hurry in taking the blacks. Because I have nowhere to put the blacks, right? The blacks are the big problem for me in the run out of this round. So it should be my opponent's last priority. I know that his plan is like to eventually saddle me with all the blacks and let me dump them in my floor line. But once he is taking two of them, it will be much harder for him to actually saddle me with all the blacks. It's a really tricky situation. Like, should he put the blacks in row 3? That's a yeah. That's a really interesting question. And now I need to decide. I could put the two blacks here, just making life really awkward for him. Or I could put the blue and just score more points myself, right? But, you know, there's something to having 3 of my opponent's rows blocked. I think that's really cool. It's only temporary point sacrifice. I do believe it's worth doing. Now, of course, we take this. Wow. That's some gambling here. I'm not saying it's wrong, but that's not something you see every day. Yeah, as you see, we have an advantage. My opponent has 4 rows blocked. He will be getting away with that, actually, because the run-out's not great for me, to say the least. Where are all the reds? Well, I know. There are actually very few of them remaining in the deck. And probably the way Glavier should play here is just start with one of the reds. Oh yeah, by the way, one of the reasons why I prioritize taking the blacks away from my opponent is to disrupt the second column. Because let's say if Glavier were to be able to clean off his blacks here, then he would have the room for all these golds. Now, I think I should be winning this. Because I just have way too many threats. And also, I get the red with the first player tile. For round 5, it's just gigantic. I should probably do a bit of a better job counting tiles. But I think my main task should be, oh yes, to group everything as soon as possible. Because then I'm threatening this. I don't care about this road that much. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I think the play is to go here. Let him finish this row. Then we go here. And then I have a clean sheet for round 5. And my opponent has a lot of stuff on the floor. I think there's a sufficient number of yellows for him to make a second column. But I don't think that's actually enough for him. Oh, self-evident. I only now noticed in the chat. Yeah, which round were you referring to? I was just, again, too focused on this game. I didn't see what was going on in the chat. Well, anyway, we're at +9. And it looks not bad. So we should be winning this. The only thing we need to take away, of course, the 3 golds from my opponent. The question is where exactly. Yeah, I mean, let's just do the obvious play of placing them here and having some extra threats of our own. Because if they take the gold, I take the gold, everything converges, and all I need to do is just get some 1 white at the top. There's no complete color available because my opponent is 1 bit short. Makes sense. I guess many different ways to do this, right? Oh! I could go here, maybe. Yeah, I rather like it. Just address this. I have 2 threats at the same time, right? I'm threatening 2 reds and I'm threatening 3 blacks. And both are really powerful threats. And also, like, my opponent doesn't need either of these tiles anywhere. So he's probably forced to spend some time on dealing with them. Okay, he decides to do it like this. Well, we could do the standard thing. Which, honestly, we probably should do. Or, let's say we take the blacks, my opponent takes the reds. I take the whites, my opponent takes the golds. Yeah, that could work. Or, you know, we could just go here. That's also fine. So, reds, blacks, golds, whites, blues. That would be the sequence. Okay, blacks first. Yeah, okay, makes sense. Then let's just do some quick calculation. If we go here, that's going to be 7 points. And if we go here, that's going to be more than 7 points, right? I'm sometimes not the quickest when it comes to this. Okay, this is clearly better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 9. Yeah, so this is 9. And then my opponent should be taking the gold for his bottom row. And then somehow... Why? Yeah, of course, the gold. Yeah, don't give me free 4 points. And then I do this. Yeah, and we end up with 2 completed rows at the top. So certainly quite a creative play from my opponent, going for this early column on the right. But I was kind of hoping they'd do that, because I don't think in the long run it really works. It was sort of a very interesting idea of kind of trying to play really aggressively over here and having these adjacency bonuses. But the problem is, like, starting on the right, I guess it could work, but not with the row 1 sacrifice in round first. Well, certainly it's... I'd like to have games like these once in a while, because last time we played, it was in the Mind Sports Olympiad, and I ended up winning that game like by only 1 point. So anyway, also nice to win at least 1 game on stream. So thanks for the game. Let's see who's next, or if we have any taker. Okay, you were saying round 1. You were saying round 1. Yeah, red on row 3 is good, I agree. In round 3, 2 blacks on row 1 is far better than 1 blue, which you made. Ah, okay, which you made the correct move. Okay, good to know, good to know. Wow. Oh, you have to be kidding me. So we started playing with the second highest rated player in the world. Now we're playing with the highest player in the world, with the highest rated player in the world. Because, like, I mean, it says that she's 862, but her main account is like 930 or something like this. Oh man. Okay, but it's gonna be a learning experience. So I'm gonna get trashed on stream for you. Yeah. So let's just go into this game. Hopefully we'll learn something. I will be able to explain my moves. I will not be able to explain my opponent moves. Sometimes she does like some unusual thing that wins her the game. Okay, so I see a lot of golds. I see these are really nice, actually. Okay, I'm just gonna go purely by intuition. I'm gonna go here. Also, I note that this is a game where I don't get to cancel this stuff. So if I make a misclick, I make a misclick, so be it. Ms. Dong takes the first player tile, which she typically never does. But I think I understand. She wants to punish me. She wants to oppose me on the same column. She wants to take the 2 blues. So I wonder, actually, do I take the 2 blues myself? Like 1 blue? Maybe I take the 1 blue here. I don't know. But I kind of feel that following the principles of just putting the tiles in the columns where they belong is the correct course of actions, typically. Okay, I'm going to stop trying to predict her moves. I don't understand. I mean, I don't quite understand the purpose of this, but sure. Okay, let's just go natural moves. This column, there are some scenarios how 3 golds merge together. If she takes the 1 blue, I take this. She does this. That's... it's gonna be fine. So, what she's gonna do next? I should be taking from the center always. I kind of start to like my position. Again, I don't quite understand my opponent's move. I'm just playing very, very simple. I saw a column that sort of looks neat, and I'm just building it, and that's it. Not only does this column look neat, it also has some threats, right? There's this black, which could go here, well, here. Do I just bust everything open? Like if I take two blues, she takes two blacks. I take two reds, she takes two white. I take... Nah. I don't think I should bust everything open. Or maybe I take the black. She takes the black, I take the reds. Then she takes the whites. Actually, this one favors me slightly more. So I think I get to do this. And now she's going to do something other than taking the black. Yeah, now comes the forcing sequence. Blacks goes here. Oh, she's going to place the golds on row 2. That's kind of smart. Yeah. But then I have to take away the whites from her. Even though it's awkward for my top row. I did get some accomplishments. I did get more tiles in. So, black... Wait. One white, one gold. We actually have to be super precise on the tile tracking. Because I know that my opponent will be. It's a good run out. There's very few blues. Yeah. I see the idea. Of course, she wants to take row 4. Should we let her? I don't think so. I don't think we should let her. I think we should go here. Then she's going to take like the one blue. Make these converge. She'll... So basically what she's going to do, she's got to make me pay a heavy price in floor line points. Or not, because again, I'm not going to try to predict what she's doing. So we're going to go here. The golds benefit me a lot, right? Because she can't use them. And I feel like I should be feeling quite well about this. Okay, she does this. Well, I know where all these golds are going for sure. Or do I? Well, I know where one of these golds is going. Or do I again? So let's say if I take the top, what could she do? Maybe taking the reds. If she takes the reds. Yeah, maybe that's her play. Okay, so if I take the golds, she takes the reds, these blue merge, I take the reds, she takes the 3 blues. That was her plan, I guess. So I can ruin this by sort of taking the one blue myself. Or I can take the 2 reds right off the bat, in which case she dumps 1 gold. Oh, but she can't do that. If she takes 2 reds... Yeah, I think I should be doing here well, no matter what, right? Because if she wants me to drop the gold, which, by the way, is not a tragedy because they go here, well, for 0 points, right? Then... I can just take the 3 blues for this row, and then the 4 golds for this row. But she does this, right? Okay, that's a good move. That's a good move, actually. Oh yeah, I guess we have to go for the blues. So we do end up with a lot of casualties, but it's fine, I guess. My opponent does have 3 blocked rows. It's a problem that all these 3 rows are neatly lined into column. Also, by the way, red, one, so 2 golds, 1 red, 1 white, 1 blue. I'm not going to be precise on the child tracking because I need to keep talking. She'll probably take the 2 blues here, which makes sense. Now, I'm not sure if I should oblige with the first player tile here. Because again, this run out is not that great for her. I can end up with some juicy stuff. I can end up with this on my 4th row with 2 reds here. Like, this is really, really good. So the gold can wait. This is as much as I can, what I can say, yeah? What if I just do white, 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 white? No. Shall we just go for the natural play? The natural play will be simply taking the 1 gold and like letting her complete something. Yeah, I can't. I'm just gonna do this. Like, I think there's something stronger in this position. Should I look for it? No, I think I'm good. What I'm gonna try do, I'm just simply try to have my opponent have a lot of stuff on the floor line, and that's pretty much it. Okay, how can we make things unpleasant for my opponent here? Not sure we can. I can start by taking a black, maybe. Wait, if I do the white, she takes the black. White, white. No, if I do the white, she takes the black. I take the white, she take the whites. I take. I feel like that's the play. It's long to explain. I could be wrong. But I want to deny her row 2, essentially. So, let me know your thoughts, by the way. I know it's a minute delay, but... Because I figured that if I were to take the 1 white, then she would take the 1 black, then I would take the 1 white, she would take the 1 white, and she would end up with a guaranteed row 2. That's the scenario that I didn't want to happen, right? So now I think we can easily start taking the whites, and now this move will deny her at least something. That was my plan. I'm not completely out of my mind. I don't think that was a bad idea. Because, like, if she takes the black, then I just take another white and I threaten to take away her stuff. Oh, or there's that. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Or maybe I could just preoccupy myself with giving her floor line points, right? Because if I take the white, she takes like the 3 blacks or something. Or if I take the blacks myself, then she takes the 2 reds. Then I end up with a lot of stuff myself, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna go with my gut here. Yep, she's gonna discard this. Then what's the better play? I think this is the better play between the two. And now I'm going to have my 3 rows blocked. I don't know. It didn't go as planned. It didn't quite go as planned. I now figure that maybe I had a smarter play of placing this white in row 4. Because then I could be threatening like 3 reds or 3 blacks in row 3. I don't know. I'm doing what I can whilst talking at the same time. And she didn't even end up discarding much. Well, anyway, we're not losing 6 points, okay? Let's just see where this brings us. So far, we're not doing great. We need to get bailed out by the deck, which I think we do. Because we do get the 1 red to clean up stuff. And we're gonna wait. Yeah, we're gonna start with this, and also it's too late. Yeah, I feared this might happen. But I mean, we can't let her have this. So I will be having too much stuff in my floor line. I will be having way too much stuff in my floor line. Yeah. But what can we do? Oh, so like she's gonna take 1 gold or something. You know what? Yeah, looking at the last round, maybe probably it was okay to let her just finish her row 2 somehow. And then simply if we were to have this row empty here, we would have been doing just fine. Because then I would not need this 1 red for a cleanup. Well, I guess now I have to go here. My floor line's not long enough. So you see, joke's on you. You wanna make me lose points with my floor line? I can't, because I already lost the maximum. Okay, now we need to find a way how to take this into the 7th round, which we absolutely not gonna be able to do. We should still do our best, okay? Like we'll be able to get a lot of points this round. No, don't get me wrong, but well, let's start with this, I guess. Now I hope that like if she takes the 2 blues, I take the 1 red for the top. Okay, so she's just keeping it simple, which is understandable. So I think, what do I do? I probably need to take one red to disrupt row 3. Where I can take the one blue, but then she takes away row 2 from me. Or row 3, which is even worse. Yeah, so I think it's this. Okay, well, I need to take this, right? And the good news is that my opponent is getting a... No, they're not even getting stuff on their floor line. That's amazing. They take the whites, I take the red, they take the gold. So even though we took a lot of stuff... Yeah, we really took a lot of stuff this round. It was just not enough to compensate for all the floor line losses. And I think the biggest issue with what I did was... I think maybe I was just focused a bit too much on my opponent's board. So later I'll have to go over this game and review it again. But do let me know. Did you see a win somewhere perhaps, or a better play? I think in that previous round, in round 3, it was possible to maybe just not to be too focused on what my opponent is doing. Also, I could have ignored the reds, or maybe I could have just gone for the shared elements a little bit sooner. I just felt like the whites and blacks were a little bit too scattered in order for me to do that. Well, anyway, hopefully that was instructive to you in one way or another. Is anybody else going to throw a challenge? Maybe. Actually, whilst I'm waiting for challenges, why don't we just go to the replay and have a look at this? I'm not even sure I should be streaming with a delay, to be honest. I just had the same settings for my Carcassonne streams, and in Carcassonne you have to stream with a delay because you get to see your tile on the screen, and if your opponent gets to see which tile you drew, then obviously that gives them a huge advantage. Here we are both seeing the same tiles, so I'm maybe going to remove the 1 minute delay from the settings later on. Wait, how did I do this? Let's just maybe review the first round for now. So what could we do? Okay, this reasonable, also row 3 reasonable. This don't quite understand. Well, I mean, I do understand the idea. She's gonna have more rows completed. Now here, what do we do? No, I think this one is fine. Yeah, the first round probably played out as it should have. Oh yeah, here. Maybe I have like a more clever idea. Oh, for example, what if I take the 1 red, force her to take the 2 blacks, then I take the 2 whites, she takes the 2 golds, then I take the 1 red for the top and she's forced to discard a blue. Maybe something like this? Maybe that could work. And then she'd have more blacks and a free row 4, but I would have some whites here. which is probably not such a bad idea. What else could I do? I could also just take the one gold for the top, I guess. Yeah, maybe that's another consideration. Yeah, maybe that was a better play. Because then that would force her to be a bit more disjointed. So let's say I do the golds and then she would be forced to play something like a black in her row 5. Then I get to 2 reds and then she'd have the 2 whites here. Yeah, maybe that was the better play actually. Yeah, makes sense. Then of course here we absolutely have to take the reds, and then I mean it didn't end up being that bad. I mean the round 1 was fine overall. We did get a bit more tiles in. Well, anyway, the rest we can review later. Let's see who this is. Okay, Pchan19, nice. By the way, you saw the last game. It's kind of interesting how much 100 rating points can make a difference, like in terms of the level. Because I did feel like I didn't understand some of my opponent's moves a couple of times. So there is something with our Azul knowledge that we would need to brush up. And as opposed to when I'm playing somebody who's like rated 700, I always sometimes feel that maybe they don't understand some of my moves. Vasily Kutalo is saying, oh my, she's like Magnus Carlsen of Azul. I know. It's like playing in an AI. By the way, she also does Azul strategy videos, like game review videos on Chinese YouTube, which is Bilibili, but they're all in Chinese. And this is one of the languages I don't speak, unfortunately. Also, yeah, I'm probably going to remove the delay for the next stream because it like doesn't do that much utility as it does for Carcassonne. Right, so we're ready to start. Yeah, I think we can't. I'm not sure. Pichan, do you see that I joined? Wait. Nope, no, that one, that one. Yeah, let's just try check. Oh, okay. Interesting. So now I. Well, anyway. Then there's this one. Yeah, let's do a rematch. I don't mind. Okay, well, I get a nice run out to start. I could do 3 blacks, 2 blues. These are my options. 2 whites? Not necessarily. You see, like, if I do the 2 blues, my opponent takes the 2 blues. I don't have quite a good follow-up. You're gonna try to be less creative. How about the consent, Glavier? Oh, I'm not sure if you can see the chat. Oh, connectivity issues, P-chat. Okay, sorry. Yeah, well, anyway, whenever you're ready, if you want to do the next one. Yeah, good move. I think so, probably. But here, I kind of feel I have a natural move, right? Shall we just play normally? Yeah, I think it's a normal move. Take the starting player tile. Go here. It's lines with a column. 2 blues, 2 blues. I mean, I think I was supposed to get an advantage here no matter what. Uh-huh. I see that. So what can we do? I could take the 1 blue, then my opponent takes this. I take the 1 white. My opponent takes something for the top. I take something for the top. I'd probably like this more. Just to get that 1 extra tile in. And then I either finish my row 5 or finish my row 3. But I think... like that, huh? Interesting. Okay. It's not a bad move. I mean, it makes sense for sure. Probably the best move even. Yeah, or maybe this. Yeah, so it's like a bit forced. Okay. So then we have to take these golds, just so that my opponent doesn't get them. Because then the things would be too neatly aligned. And we have a slight, ever so slight advantage because of this extra tile over here. Then, oh, we can actually deliver some pain with these blacks. So we need to do some pain prioritization. Do we hope to deliver pain with the reds or with the blacks? I think with the reds, just because they fit here nicely, then we get to have the 3 golds in the most likelihood. I don't think they should be ever responding here with 3 golds, because if they take the 3 golds, then suddenly I take the 2 blacks, and they're down multiple rows. They're down row 4, row 5. Also, now I have some interesting options. Like, I could actually get 3 blues here instead of the whites on row 4. Finish my row 5, and then pivot to a different column on this side. But let's just see what Glavier responds with here. Oh, apparently they're also having some connectivity issues. Because look at this dot over here. I don't think that's the play. I don't think that's the... I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. But you know why taking these 3 goals not going to do much? Is because there's still 3 goals remaining and I'm just going to make them converge again. For example, now. Yeah, actually, I think that that's going to work well. So I'm putting this here. If they take the 3 golds, then I'm gonna group all the whites. First of all, I'm gonna group all the blues. Yeah, and if my opponent takes the 1 red, for example, for the top row, it should be for the top. I am getting saddled with these blues, presumably. But actually, maybe I can pivot to row 4? Is that bad? I do feel it's quite reasonable. I mean, it's just nice to take something away from my opponent. They drop the whites. I get this. Maybe I'm getting overly creative. I'm not sure. But I do feel like it's a lot of floor line points, not to be discounted, right? We're ahead 9 points, and all we need to do to survive this is just have like 1 single blue. Also, there's so many whites in this run out, and they can only use 2, which is great. I kind of feel like we're going columnless now. And they're just going right off the bat like this, which is why I'm not going to be particularly creative. I'm just going to do this. Maybe I should have thought about this for a little bit longer. Yeah, where exactly do you put it? Okay, you're getting your row 5, which is good for you. But I know what I'm getting. I'm getting row 2 for sure, and I'm probably getting a bunch of whites really there. Also, I'm threatening the 3 golds, which is really, really a lot. If my opponent takes the 2 whites, I take the 2 whites myself for the 5th row. Because then I can make these guys merge. Okay, that's good, that's good. Okay, that's good. Now, what are some possible plays? I think I just have to finish my... Not finish, but continue my row 2. Then create a bunch of threats. So I could end up with 2 tiles here. Let's just look at our options, right? I could take these 3, which doesn't sound bad. I could take these 2 and merge these. Force my opponent to discard. Could be good, could be good. Actually, let's just do wait. Do this. Our opponent takes 4. Yeah, that's all good. Our opponent takes 4 reds. Not 4 reds. What am I talking about? 4 whites, let's say. Then we take 3 blues. Not 3 blues, 3 golds. And my opponent takes something like 1 gold. I take 2 whites for row 5. Maybe I'm being a bit too generous with the whites. I know I'm sort of threatening 2 columns, but then I'm threatening neither. Because I will need so many whites in the future, but I just feel that this floor line thing will enable me to go columnless. But let's see if that works. Like that? Very, very interesting. I don't think that's the right play, because then it's just too many floor line points for my opponent. Like, you just can't afford to be at 0 points after round 3. Maybe the move here for him is to take the 3 golds. Huh, like this. Yeah, but again, it can't be correct. Okay, like this, like this. Sure, sure. Now let me think about this. I could forget about my columns and just go for adjacency bonuses. I think here is where we should do some counting. So my opponent's is a 2, 3 plus 5. This is going to be 7. Minus 4. So there we're going to be at 3 points. So actually making them discard has a bit of value. They're going to get 3 points here, so they're going to have 6. So we can make sure that they're at 0 points. If we just take the 1 gold, put it here, they're forced to take the 6, then they're at 0, and we're doing quite well. And there's still many golds for us to fill here. If we take these are guaranteed 5 points, which is pretty cool. So it's only 5 points. And they still discard a little bit. Yeah, I kind of feel like maybe this is the way to go. Not sure though, not sure. Just going for adjacency bonuses here. Can we pivot again? What if we get a bunch of blacks in row 4 and now build column 5? Is that stupid? I kind of think that's pretty cool. Well, how many reds have been discarded? I really forgot. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I kind of like the idea. I really like the idea. Let's do it. Let's just see what happens. Let's just have some extra threats. And also just to preserve that extra point, right? And I mean, we're at plus 22. Yeah, you see, it's not bad, because, like, it's not about me finishing this column. It's just about the fact that in this round, there's enough stuff for me to finish this column. So, like, my opponent needs to be worrying about that. Which is why they probably should start with the reds. Also, like, I can put golds here, I can put whites here, I can put blacks here. Like, lots of things that can happen. The whites. Very, very interesting. Oh, maybe like that's... Oh, I assume that's just defense. So you can make sure that I don't have the whites, which makes sense. How badly do I need to start the next round? That's the question. Well, we're gonna find out. I'm gonna do this just for the sake of the first player tile. Just to get it over with. We're not touching the golds because eventually I'm putting them here or here. Okay, you get the reds. You get the reds, right? Then I think I need to do this. Because then you need to take the blacks. I take the other pair of blacks. You take the whites. I take the one whites. You take the blues. I don't know. Something like this. And actually, do I even need to bother with that? Oh, maybe this is better. Yeah. There's a reason why this is better. Is because there are still some blues remaining and there are many fewer whites. So if my opponent like takes the two blacks here, for example, that could work well. Yep, they do this. They go for the top row. Then I go here. And then I end up going here, which is why we left the golds for last. Most unusual game, I have to say. Yeah, the missing blues, it's something that we had not accounted for. But you see, now I'm going to take these blacks and make sure that my opponent cannot finish that row. Okay, what's the correct play here? Maybe just drop one black. Yeah, I think so. Because now all I need to do is just get some blues in. And that's it. I'm threatening this, which is of course very nice. Oh, it's actually quite a big threat to the point that I think they should be taking this. But they don't. So I could just take the top. If I take the top, they take this. I take this, they take the black. Actually, it doesn't matter because I will be discarding the blues anyway. So I think it's better to finish the third row. The third line, sorry. Then I'm going to take something like one red, which I think they should. Yeah, then I think I should be taking these guys. Because I'm going to be losing a lot of floor points. That's what? 8? No, 7. But I'm getting 10 with this. So it's a net plus 3 move. Then my opponent takes the whites. I take the blacks. No, I take the gold. It doesn't matter what to take. My opponent has a place to do anything they want. Yeah, and then we should be winning. Such an unusual game. We end up completing the first 3 rows as opposed to 1 column of our opponent. And just midway through the game was important to understand that we don't need the column anymore. Just because the floor line was so brutal for my opponent. I don't think actually you could have done anything here, Glovier. Oh, I'm saying the floor line, but 18 points on the floor line compared to my 16. Oh, but that doesn't matter because most of my 16 points came in the last round. So I was ahead because of that. And yeah, points gained with 6 tiles. I mean, it's pretty rare when you finish the top 3 rows. Yeah, I don't think you had a winnable run out in any case. The only way for me to lose this game, it was to try too hard to build a column and then get stuck on one of these rows. So I just kept the setup flexible until the very end, simply threatening different stuff, like white here, white here, white here, and it did force my opponent to probably discard a little bit too much in the floor line. Well, anyway. So now today we're 2 for 4. So played against 3 super strong players, masters or above. Okay, what's the next challenge? Are you back with your connection, P-chan? Hopefully so. At least I got some wins on stream, yes. No, I mean, it's fine. Like, I don't mind losing on stream again, but I hope it's instructive. The thing is, like, in my losses, I can't be that descriptive with the comments because if I understood the position well enough, I wouldn't be losing. Yeah. Okay, there we go. There we go. I get to go first again, which is nice. 3 whites, 5 blacks, 6 golds, 5 blues, 1 red. That's interesting. Now let's actually start screaming column 3. But the thing is, if I do this, my opponent immediately gets this. Actually, that's fine. I think I'm going to do it anyway. So the setup that they could end up with is something like column 3 with rows 2 and rows 3 reversed. Like 1 red, 2 blues, 3 golds. And then I'm not sure about the blacks, maybe like 2. But I figure this is still going to be quite good for me. It's a good move. It's a good move. So, what do we do here? Maybe golds, maybe blacks. I think actually blacks. Because I can do the golds later. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the best move by far. What can I do? If I take the... Oh, if I take this one, that could work well. Let's say my opponent takes something like... If I take the one blue, let's say they take the two... Or do they take the two blacks? Yeah, I think I should be doing fine here. Actually, no, I'm not sure. Because I think they have a crazy play. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's something I didn't see, of course. They get to put everything in the center, which is why, of course, I should have seen this and taken the two blacks from two whites from the center, probably. Yeah, and then they get either row 3 or row 4. But maybe I'm okay with this. So, of course, we have to finish our top 2 rows. How much do I care about the row 4? Maybe not that much, actually. It's mostly like about the row 3 that's the issue. You know what? No. Let's just do something that works for me. Then they have to take the whites. Then I take the blacks. And then I take the blues. Yes, yes, exactly. That's the idea here. So I don't think they get to finish the row 3 at all. Because then their setup is a bit awkward. Yeah, so I get the blacks. I think they just now realized that. So maybe for them, the move is to place the whites on row 4, as counterintuitive as it may seem. Or to take the two... Yeah, they decided to do this. And now actually my setup is not that bad. I mean, now I definitely have the advantage. Because I have one extra tile and mine are a bit more productively placed. Well, it's double-edged. It says like 0 to 2, 0, 1 are the discarded tiles. I'm counting them like this, so this is the order of the middle column. So 0 to 2, 0, 1 means that 0 reds, 2 yellows, 2 blues, and so on. Well, they get an easy move, which is nice for them. I get sort of an easy move as well, I guess. I think we do this. Give them the 3 reds. Yeah, you can just take it, that's fine. Just take the reds. Row 3, that's good, that's good, that's a good move. Okay, now let me think about this. If we take the whites, is that a forcing move? My opponent takes the whites. No, it's not much of a forcing move, actually. Wait. That's not what I wanted to play. Like, I wanted actually to have threats of putting the blues in row 3, in row 2, because that's what my opponent could be doing. Because that's what they want to do. Like, they want to have 4 reds here, and 2 blues here. That's what they really, really want. Oh, wait. Oh yeah, this is better. This is better. There are a couple of reasons, but basically I'm getting this guy closer to the center. So if they're not careful enough, I can get away with a lot of free stuff. So for example, if they make a waiting move like 1 gold, I suddenly take the 2 reds, and then they realize that they are in a bit of trouble. Or are they? Not sure, not sure. What if they take the 2 reds now? Then maybe my move is to take 1 blue for the top, so that they're forced to take the 2 reds and then give me the 2 whites. Something like this. Yes. Okay, you go there. That makes sense. That makes sense. So what was my plan's response for this? I don't remember. If I take something like 1 blue. No. I think we need to just think better. Think better. If we take the 2 reds, they take the 2 whites. That's not ideal. Yeah, I think that's the play. Now they take the 1 white, then we take the 2 golds, then they take the 2 blues, then we take the 2 reds. We end up with 3 blocked rows, but we have just slightly better stuff. These blocked rows are not that bad. Everything aligns neatly. And there are no colors that are... Oh, like this. Oh, that's better. Probably. So this changes things. This actually means that my opponent will also be discarding just as myself. So I could take the 2 gold here, then my opponent discards the 2 reds, then I put the 2 blues. But that would be an unnecessary point sacrifice, because you see, if I put the gold here just to prevent myself from discarding, I would be forced to use the blues here, which would be as big of a point difference as me not discarding. Because now it is actually going to be fine. I'm going to have more points in this round. I got some nice tiles here. My opponent has an extra row. Oh, interesting. I think that's a bit of a gamble, kind of blocking a row like this, but I can see that. Yeah, and I'm gonna put here, like, why would I wanna lose points? Because like eventually I will need the gold here anyway. So the only thing that can hurt us is a lot of reds in this round, but it's not likely. I was just going to say that it's not likely, but that's what ended up happening. Good news for us is that the golds will come in here quite nicely. And that we will be completing 4 rows. Everything except the bottom row is what's probably going to happen. What should my opponent do? I have no idea. One blue, one black, something like this. Two whites? Not sure, not sure. Two whites. Okay, but that's cool, because I get to use whites later, right? Do I just go the boring way? I think it's fine, honestly. Why not just like take care of this stuff as soon as possible? Yep, the black makes sense. Now I could also like get it over with the white. Blue, blue. Ah, I see what my opponent's trying to do. Or do I? Yeah, one reason I wanted to take care of the golds first is just so that my opponent doesn't have any threats here. So the one threat that we will need to deal with is 3 blacks over here. So I could just deal with it right now, actually, if I wanted to. Because if I do something like blue, then they take a blue. Blue, 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 blue. Actually, no, I think maybe it's this. Now we get this. But if they get the blue, they're forced to discard. And now, instead of finishing my row 4, I decide to finish my row 5. They have to go there. Then, of course, I never go here. I can do that later. I do this. And all the reds go into my opponent's floor line. So ultimately, the bet on these blues didn't pay off. That was sort of an attempt to save a couple of points, but it did end up costing my opponent quite a lot of floor points. And I think actually what they should have done is they should have ignored their row 4 and just made sure that I'm the one who's discarding the reds. Because it was just way, way more important. On top of that, I'm also getting hit with the deck. Which is certainly helpful. By the way, if they take the 2 whites, I'm not going to take this one. I'm just going to take the 2 blacks with the first player tile. And if they're going to take the first player tile... Oh, okay, that's kind of helpful. Well, I have to take the first player tile now, right? But do we go to row 4? No, I don't think so. I think we can do this later. Just having the threats should be enough. They now have to take the 1 white and discard it. I cannot imagine anything else being correct. So if we take this, that's not a good move because they can take the one. Yeah, they can take the one blue and then threaten their row 5 in different, their row 3 in different ways. Or maybe that's okay. Maybe we can live with that. You know, there wasn't a lot of discarded tiles. There's actually some scenarios how we can even complete the... We can get... No, we can't get complete color. Never mind. There's, of course, the row 4 missing from my setup. Yeah, I think it's fine. Also, I didn't see really any alternative ideas. Yeah, the move is 1 blue for them, but will they find it? Because 1 black doesn't work, because then I get to have 5 blues. And they don't get to have anything on row 3. Oh yeah, by the way, the reason why I didn't want to put this in row 4 is because they could have they could have taken like the blacks away from me, and I wouldn't have any blacks to put in row 2. Okay, well, fortunately for me, they didn't find the move. It's not just about the fact that I get a free 1 point. It's more about the fact that they don't get anything in row 3. Yeah, and then wait. Actually, maybe we don't mind the blacks being there. Yeah, I guess let's just do this. Because there should be very few blacks remaining, so it actually will be not that easy for my opponent to complete row 4, especially given the fact that blacks are one of my top priorities to finish the game up top over here for row 2. Well, there are very few blacks remaining. I feel like there's a choice that was going to need to be made. Well, we need the blacks. Actually, maybe I could have done it differently. Yeah. I didn't notice that my opponent also needs the blues. We don't need the blacks that badly. I should have, I think, started with 2 blues. I think maybe I've forgotten that there is maybe I've forgotten about the first player tile. Well, I mean, you haven't forgotten about the first player tile, but like there isn't going to be a first round, the next round. So probably what you had to do is just take the 2 blues. Also, one thing that I think you should be doing here is taking the move for you that was better. You see, there were 2 blues remaining, and which means that you still have 1 more move. You don't have to be in such a rush. And I don't have anywhere to put my blue. So in order to force your hand, I'll be forced to discard a blue, and then you can simply take the other one. Whereas what you should be doing is taking the one black, threatening to complete the row 4, and also making sure that the 3 whites merge, right? And then if I take the 3 whites, I lose some floor line points, and then you get to take away the blacks from me. Or if I take the blacks, then you get to take away the 3 whites from me. So something like this. Now I think the move is, I guess, to take one of the blacks. Yeah, then I get to do this. And then now you probably need to take the, you need to take the 3 reds, because they're just too good for me, in your bottom row. Then I get something, the 1 blue. Oh, no. Yeah, you see, this is only 1 point. So it was... So it was actually completely okay to let me have them. The most important part is to not let me have the 3 reds. Now here I just need to do some counting. So if I get reds, that's 7 points. You get blues, I get white. So that's net 7-point gain for me. What if I drop the blue in the floor line? That's -1. You drop 3 reds. So that's only a 4-point gain for me. So I have to do this and preserve a clean floor line for both of us. And then I should be winning this with a column. Yeah. All right, GGP Chan. I think, yeah, for you probably in the last round, maybe there was a way how to not let me get away with 4 completed rows. So I should be either losing these blacks or losing these whites or losing these reds or something like this. And maybe before, you start out the first round really well by taking away the red for the top. And then maybe there was like the row 4 move that disrupted your game a little bit. Probably like at a under 700 level, which I would recommend is maybe not to get too cutesy. I know it's like sometimes that typically 750, like 800 plus players like to do is be super efficient with their tiles. And maybe even sometimes build rows which are disruptive for the main column, but you have to be like super careful about this. And you see, I tried to get cutesy a little bit in my first game against Self-Evident when I started building some mismatching roads, and then it cost me in the end. So yeah, so I guess just like play simpler. Simply start by building a column and then just put the stuff that aligns with the column, no matter how many tiles, and then typically in round 1, you're gonna do fine. All right, thanks for the game. It's been 2 hours, so I'm not sure if I even should do another game. Probably not, but in case somebody wants to send me a challenge, I'll be here around for 1 minute or so. Also quite interesting, I think we got more games than usual. In Carcassonne, I would typically stream 4 games, and this would take us 2.5 hours. Today we streamed 5 games, and it took us only 2 hours. Actually, I'll probably wrap this up right here because 2 hours does seem to be enough. So what else new on this channel? I'll see what the response is overall, like for after the stream is published. I am planning to release a bit more Azul content in the coming weeks, a bit more after the Carcassonne World Cup. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, by the way, the Carcassonne World Cup semifinals are tomorrow. I'm playing in them, so I will not be streaming. However, maybe I'll try to record a game, and if I am able to talk whilst playing,